Praise be Jesus Christ and Mary Immaculate. Welcome for this homily to the 6th Sunday in Ordinary Time. We're going to read from the Gospel of Matthew. This Sunday's Gospel is very long, and so we can't possibly unpack every single line. So let's focus on just a few words that Jesus speaks to us today. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to fulfill. We are in the 5th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew. Right after the Beatitudes, Jesus has come down the mountain, the place where God reveals himself, and just as he has proclaimed that blessed are the poor in spirit, blessed are the meek, blessed are the merciful, blessed are the persecuted. Those words were shocking then and are shocking even now. The people of Israel expected a kingdom of power, strength, of visible success. They expected victory, wealth, and glory. They wanted to be great again. But Jesus announces a kingdom rooted in humility, in mercy, and even in accepting suffering. Naturally, some people would have wondered, is he tearing down everything that we worked for? Is he tearing down everything that we've believed? Is he undoing Moses, or is he rejecting the law of God? And Jesus answers clearly, do not think that. You hear that? Do not think that. He did not come to destroy. He came to fulfill. That word fulfill is the key, because Moses was a servant of God. The covenant of Sinai was built on obedience of the law. Faithfulness meant keeping the commandments. The relationship between God and his people was structured around obedience. But Jesus is not simply a servant. Jesus is the Son, and the Son reveals something deeper. He reveals the heart of the Father. With Jesus, the relationship with God is no longer centered on just an external law. It is centered on love, not the elimination of the law, but its transformation from the inside out. That's why Jesus goes on to say, you have heard it said, but I say to you. He doesn't cancel the commandments, he deepens them. It's not enough simply not to kill. We must uproot anger and contempt from our very hearts. We have to stop hating people. It's not enough simply to avoid adultery. We must learn to see others with dignity and purity. We have to stop using people for our own pleasure. It's not enough to swear oaths. Our yes should mean yes, and our no should mean no. And Jesus moves the focus from behavior alone to the heart. That's why he says something startling. He says, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes and the Pharisees, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. He's not saying that we need to follow more rules than they did. He's saying we need to do something deeper. The scribes and the Pharisees were serious about the law. But Jesus calls us not only to be serious, but to be righteous. He calls us to righteousness that goes beyond calculation and checklist religion. He calls for a righteousness born from a transformed heart. In other words, Christianity is not about asking, what's the minimum I have to do? It's about asking, how can I be more like the Father? The law and the prophets pointed towards something. They carried a promise. Jesus says, I am the fulfillment of that promise. The law was the seed, and Jesus is the fruit. The law showed the path, and Jesus is the way. The law described holiness, and Jesus embodies it. And now he invites us to that same life. For us today, especially in a culture that often reduces faith to either rigid rule-keeping or complete moral relativism, this gospel is crucial. Jesus offers neither cold legalism nor careless freedom. He offers something greater, a heart shaped by the love of the Father. He doesn't lower the standard, he raises it, but he also gives us the grace to live it. So the real question this week is not simply, am I breaking any of the commandments? The deeper question is my heart becoming more like the Father's? Am I loving more freely, more truthfully, more generously? Because that is the fulfillment of the law, and that is where the kingdom truly begins. God bless you.